Fingers twitch fast, orders thrown in, dreams on the line, world spinning again. Shots like a maze, my head's on fire. Failure whispers, but I aim higher. Prop test gates trying to shake my pride. Won't stay down, I'll break the tide. Trade the chaos, make it mine. Turn the losses into shine. Grit and sweat, brick by brick. Crack the code and make it stick. Trade the chaos, make it mine. Turn the losses into shine. Grit and sweat, brick by brick. Crack the code and make it stick. Test after test, I'm kissing the edge. Risk and reward, I made my pledge. Futures clash, the screen's alive. Bankroll breathing, it's how I survive. Fear and greed, they speak my name. Fight through shadows, win this game. Strategy tied, I'm locked and loaded. Profit streams, my brain's decoded. Trade the chaos, make it mine. Turn the losses into shine. Grit and sweat, brick by brick. Crack the code and make it stick. Trade the chaos, make it mine. Turn the losses into shine. Grit and sweat, brick by brick. Crack the code and make it stick. Ooh, I'm moody for the bag, man. Like a looking at the tad, man. I'm ready for a nut, yeah. We'll keep our stand, get current now. Ooh, I'm moody for the bag, man. Like a looking at the tad, man. I'm ready for a nut, yeah. We'll keep our stand, get current.
Boris Schlossberg, Managing Director at BK Asset Management.
BK Asset Management's Kathy Lean.
Where am I? There I am. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. How's everybody doing? You know what I want to do? I think I want to move myself. I think I need to move myself. Let me see if I can move myself. I guess this is better, right? I'm trying to figure out if this is, yeah, this is probably better. Or maybe we'll go this way. Maybe we'll go this way. Does this block you guys? Can you guys see? Okay, let me know. Hey, Rick, how's everybody doing? I'm trying to figure out where I should place myself. I wish I could move the screen a little bit wider. Let me try something else. Just bear with me a sec here, guys. No, I guess I'm just going to have to do it this way. All right, that's fine. We'll just do it this way because I just want to get everybody organized. Zoom in. I'm zoomed out on the chart right now because I just wanted to show you the positioning of gold, which is negative trend. So waiting really for a red dot to show up on the screen for me to be able to short because we're still negative trend here. If I zoom in, you'll see a little bit more on the charts here. Here we go. Actually, you can see it over here. Fine. Okay. NASDAQ is actually positive trend and actually has a green dot showing up. So we have a possible buy signal in NASDAQ and possible buy signal in S&P in US 30. Okay, I'll make it really big now. Is US 30 positive bid? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is barely positive bid. Barely positive bid. NASDAQ is clearly positive bid. So first trades of the day, if they complete, should be to the upside. We can actually do something nice, which is we can just simply auto set them to buys over here. And then if they trigger, they won't trigger unless the candle stays green. So we can just sort of let them go and get them going. Okay, so and then obviously waiting for a short in gold, which is not happening. Gold is actually showing a nice clean reversal to the upside, which we should take because this is a three dot green. We'll take a little bit of the gold to the upside. Let's see if gold. We love trading gold to the upside. We almost never want to trade gold to the downside, even in downtrend in Asia, because Asia usually is always a positive gold story. So let's get long gold here. Let's see what happens for small size. Meantime, let's see what Nasdaq is at. Nasdaq is. Did I get me in? Nope. Oh, Nasdaq took me into the trade, even though there was a negative. Oh, it was at US 30. Yeah, it was US 30. US 30 is positive. It took me into this trade. The stop should be here, probably around 20, right underneath here. Let's adjust the stop. Target we'll put like at around. We'll put this around 10. Okay. And leave US 30 as is. Gold trading up. Nasdaq dove, faked us out on the upside. So it'd be interesting to see if we can trade that. Just pulling back on Nasdaq, you can see that it's very much positive bid. This is the long-term moving average, short-term moving average here, but did not hold the buy point. Actually, what's interesting is that this will stay triggered. So if this thing goes green, it will actually put us into a trade. It's part of the functionality of this little trading tool called Flash Trader, which I have, which allows you to just scalp at will in a quasi semi-automated basis, which is really cool. So let's see what's going on. So summarize what happened in U.S. session. We had a completely non-committal Fed, which was like, we don't know what's going on. We could go up, we could go down. We're going to give you zero guidance forward. And, it was sort of really kind of a non-event as far as the Fed goes. But there was a lot of tariff headlines that Trump tried to make, none of which really kind of went anywhere, because I think the first tariff headline was that he wasn't going to do anything with the Chinese. Let's look at gold. Did gold just get done? No, almost. Where's gold? Gold almost came up to target. Just waiting to see if we can hit the target on gold here. Let's see if that does us. Come on, baby. 85. What's my target? There it is. Gold gets done. So gold as always pays out in Asia session trade. The classic trade here. Is there? Okay. Can you put an arrow? Let me see if I could put a insert objects. Let me see if I could shapes, triangle, ellipse, arrows. I want to put an arrow up. Oh, look at this. So let me see if this works. This is kind of a shitty little arrow. Jesus. Man, MT5, right? What a crappy little. Let me see if I can get a better object. Buy sign. Is this better? Let's see if this looks better. I'm going to put some. Oh, wow, this is really, really small. Okay, delete. All right. While we're waiting to see how the trades go, let me play a little bit more with objects, shapes, graphical, rectangle, event, button, chart. Thumbs up. Maybe thumbs up will look better. God, anything? No, it's still so small. Object list, properties, parameters. All right, you know what? Screw this. We're just going to delete this. Very, very annoying. Anyways, we want to sort of, here's the red, we're negative trend, right? If we're going to trade counter trend, we need to have three green dots our way. So this would have been the entry. This actually would have been, and not that great an entry. We entered pretty much the same place right over here on the trade. But the point being is that until and unless you get at least 3 consecutive green dots your way, you don't do anything. You don't do anything. And by the way, just to let you know, look, NASDAQ did take me into the trade, right? Let's get big here. Let me see where I'm at. NASDAQ has a very, I want to stop. My stop should be at around 20 at maximum. I want to tighten up the stops, actually maybe even 10. Jesus, this is so, okay, I want to put my stop at 10, then I want to put my target probably at around 5. This is a very, maybe I should put my stop in. I'm going to try and buy stop underneath all of these lows because this is so, put it at 15, put the target around 7. Let's see if we can survive these little blips of movement. Just watching NASDAQ. So with NASDAQ, obviously we're positive trend, right? If I zoom out of here, you see that I'm above the moving averages, long, short, over. This is how we define trend as short being above long. That's all we need. Now we're zooming in. We're looking for positive momentum. This is the first. This is all negative momentum dots, counter trend dots. And if you traded counter trend, you could have, shorted this red dot here. This is the third red dot for, I don't know, what was it, like from 65 to 55, about 10 points of scalp. Not bad. It would have been a decent trade. You could have done that. But obviously we always want to, 2 out of 3, the rule of thumb should be 2 out of 3 times you should always be trading trend. If you're trading counter trend signals more than 33% of the time, you're really putting the odds against you. You want the odds to be in the side of the flow, right? You can see that trading trend, as a matter of fact, if you're just starting out, the single best thing to do is, I know it's 3 dots for counter trend, but how many dots for trend trade? Just 1. The trend trade is the first green dot so in this case, it's all red dots. The first green dot would take that signal with a swing low underneath it, right? So just here, see this is the first green dot, buy it. First green dot, buy it. First green dot over here after the red dots. After any red dots, we get the first green dot, we're buying it. That's the signal for trend. Trend has much easier conditions to trade, and much more sort of you're hoping for much greater accuracy as a result of it. So that's kind of how it plays out. Wow, this is so weird. Why am I? Oh, I know why. I'm like on the wrong side. Let me save myself. Update layout. Okay, I'm looking at myself and I'm at the wrong layout. I think if I put myself over here, tell me if you guys. Yeah, I moved myself over here. This is a little bit better. Right now I'm off the screen. You guys can actually see the screen. It's not bothering you, and we're good to go. So yeah, I mean, the rule of thumb is trend sort of 2/3 of the time, counter trend 1/3 of the time is the reasonable amount. Maybe even 75-25. But if you're like 50-50, it's much harder to make money in counter trend, with the exception of gold in Asia. Gold in Asia, obviously, gold has basically one move in Asia, which is positive trend. All you were trying to do is just find those ideas one way or the other. What time is it? It's almost 8 o'clock. Tokyo coming online, Singapore coming online. Oh, I know what happened. We had some news. Trump lifted some or minimized some tariffs against NVIDIA. So that was the positive pump in over here. Let me show you. Maybe I go this way. Let me just go this way. That was the positive pump on the close, which was the Trump announcement that they were going to minimize tariffs in China and for NVIDIA, and that pumped NASDAQ like full 200 points, actually. Geez, not even 100 points, 200 points. So now we're just, absorbing, consolidating that little news on the close. Let me go this way. And we're pretty much going to be kind of range bound, but hopefully with a positive bias. We'll see. This could be very distributive for the next maybe Asia opening wants to sell us, and if it does, we'll reverse ourselves and take shorts if they are given. Right now, we're still remaining in the long position, although we're getting the first red dot here. Remember, we need 3 red dots to really want to take a short on this NAS. Where's gold? Gold is still creeping up. We've made our money on the positive side of gold. If gold crosses over from short term to long term, then yeah, we can go trade it to the long side. But for now, we got no trades. Nasdaq is sort of just hanging tight. So is the Dow. Dow actually turned negative trend, right? Dow sort of turned negative trend. But since we're in this trade, we're going to see this trade through, because very often we're going to sort of we sometimes dip underneath the move, and then kind of just pop ourselves up. So we'll see again here. US 30 target here is 79.01, right? Looks like we got done on Nasdaq, and we got done on the Dow. So good. Both trades get done by just sticking to trend, right? This isn't quite kosher a trend, but it was a trend when we started, right? It was positive trend we started. There was a lot of sell-off that pushed the 2 moving averages below, but now the moving averages are climbing back up the other way. So you could say it's definitely a positive trend. Look at Nasdaq. Nasdaq popped really hard, which is great. That's where we want to be. We want to be in a situation where they sweep us out of our profits. All the more power to them. This is a big pop. I guess this is the 8 o'clock Tokyo pop. I was like, it's 8 o'clock. Where's my move? So they really pulled this up. We could actually, this is a big move here in NASDAQ, but we could absolutely, 36 seconds left on the clock, take another positive trade. The only reason why is because if you see this little red dot, we could make the argument it's a transition from sell to buy. So therefore we have we can take a fresh buy. It's a big chase here, but worth a shot. What the hell? Let me just take this off, cancel, and I'm going to manually just simply buy this with 10 seconds to go for the candle close. It's probably I don't know how much room I have to the upside here. The stop has to be underneath this candle, but let's see if we can just extend a little bit and just milk this little trade for just a few more points here. But my stop's got to be like 20 points underneath here, because I got to be underneath this candle. It's got to be 25 points, because this is like a big candle. Let's see if we expand a little bit further. This looks like the range highs. They took it pretty much to range highs, right over here. Let's see if we can get a push up here. A lot of times, this kind of a big momentum candle tends to have some continuity, hopefully, in the play. Hey, John from Vancouver. Nice to see you. Hi, guys. Who's new in the room here? Who's never traded? Who's never scalped? Who's never seen scalping before? Let me know. I'm just, I'm curious, like, have you ever short-term traded? Like the kind of trades that we're doing, which is, 5-10 points, 6-7 times a day. Open critical mind. Where are you from, my friend? You don't have to give me your direct address. Just tell me the country or the city you're from. Too stressful for you. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Hopefully, Oz, okay. Fair, totally legitimate concern, and I understand it. One of the most important questions I always ask is, are you a patient person or are you an impatient person? What I do is really designed for impatient people. Like if you're a person who, when you walk into a restaurant, they tell you there's a 30-minute wait. You're like, fuck it, I'm going to go to a deli and get a sandwich. If you're that type of person, this is the kind of trading for you. if they say, oh, it's an hour wait, you're like, oh, no problem, I'll sit at the bar and nurse a drink. Probably not for you. Look at this. Look, it's almost there. Almost there. We're done. We're done. So nice little continuity. A couple of more scalps our way. So like it's really worthwhile. This is probably the most important question I can ask. It doesn't matter what kind of. I was actually interviewing today a very, very famous hedge fund psychiatrist, like a lady who like coaches all the big hedge funds. You know what? Let me hold on a second. I'm doing a poll here. I just want to do a better poll, better degrees. This is the single most important question you want to ask yourself as a trader. Answer this question for me in the polls. John sees that's you. That's you as what? As somebody who will wait for an hour, or somebody who just can't stand, when somebody tells you you got to wait, for half an hour for the restaurant. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gone. My wife knows. I'm like, the worst person when it comes to that. So the point I ask is, if you're a patient person, like a lot of guys in my room, guys who trade with me in the morning, and some of the guys who trade with me in Asia, you could buy this signal here and just literally nurse it. A lot of guys will buy, sell half the position, then go to break even, and then just simply nurse it for 30, 40, 50 points, right? Which is great. Like if you have the ability to wait. I mean, today we were trading FOMC. I held a position for 10 minutes, which was, I think, an Olympic record for me. Like, who the fuck would have thought I had the patience? I'm really starting to become I don't recognize myself. But I held it because there was just nothing to do. We kind of died. I'm in the middle of the zone. I don't have a stop. It hasn't hit my stop. Hasn't hit my target. I was trapped, and I was like, I gotta hold. The rules say I gotta hold, but I held it. That was like the longest trade I held. Actually, was in FOMC. That everybody who was with me today, you guys saw that, right? The trade finally hit, and then boom. The next trades were like 30 seconds long because fuck. I hit my ring on my ring finger. They just started to go down like bullets, and that's what I like to do. Now Asia, by its very nature, is going to be like much more relaxed and chill. But the point being is, you got to know who you are. So if you're not the person who likes quick trades, you can use the whole methodology, all of the techniques, the tool set, the indicator, everything for much longer trades. It's just this indicator can be used for longer term entries or short term entries, depending on how you want to use it. Remember, any of these trend signals can be held for just a short period of time, or can be held with a swing low stop and a multiple exit nurse. So there's a lot of different opinions. Yosef says that it's interesting. I think trading needs a lot of patience. For who? Why do you think that? Is that because somebody taught you that because they're patient, or because that's their opinion? Like, what evidence do you have that trading needs a lot of patience? I have 1,000 examples every single day where doesn't need any patience at all. Now, let me qualify that. If you define patience as waiting for your setup, and this is actually a really good point. I wrote about this on Twitter the other day. I think there's miscommunication about what patience is. Patience in the conventional sense is like you got to stay in a trade for 10,000 years because that's what makes you money. Bullshit. You can do that, or you could just take 1,000 trades a day and make money very, very easily that way if you know what you're doing. If by patience you mean you have to wait until your setup actualizes, until your setup actually shows up on the charts, 100% I agree with you. Like you see me, I hadn't done anything until I had the setup. And right now I'm not doing anything because I don't have any setups. Everything is positive bid, although, yeah, no, it's all positive bid. I really don't have a setup. I don't have setup in the Dow. I don't have anything, I don't have any setups in gold. Gold may be the only thing could give me a potential setup in 2 or 3 candles, because I have negative trend, first green dot, one more green dot, and one more green dot after that. Only after 3 green dots would I go long gold. So, so Bernardo says, scalping does not need to be a stressful endeavor. So here's how I minimize the stress in scalping, right? The single most important thing to minimize in scalping is size. If you minimize size, if your sizes are, my sizes are $20, $30 per trade, right? I can go up to 100, I can go up to 200, I can go to $500 on a trade. It's a $100,000 account. I can go to, very, very large sizes, but I don't need to do that. I don't need to get large at the beginning. I don't need to risk $1,000 on a trade in order to be able to succeed. I can risk 20, 30, keep going. If the trades don't work, I can wait for the next setup, get a little bit bigger, and so on. So the easiest way for me to minimize stress is to minimize size, because then that's really the most important. That's really what people typically do is they increase size, and they scalp for very short. They have a scalp with a very tight stop with very large size. If you're trading with huge size and a very tight stop, it's the perfect recipe for a heart attack, because you're almost sure to get stopped out on very large loss. So, there are tricks of the trade that you can do. Sorry, guys, I gotta wipe my glasses. I can't see anything. Tricks you can do to kind of minimize your trading. I trade every night, every day, and 2 nights a week with you guys. And I'm not stressed, because I keep my size very tight. That's the key thing. John says he can't stand. You know what I can't stand, John? John says he can't stand. Where's that comment? That was really, really funny. John says he can't stand old people driving. Yeah, I can't stand either. But you know what I absolutely can't stand? I can't stand tourists in New York City fucking walking. They kill me. I want to plow them all over, because New York City sidewalks, they're wide. They're really wide. They're the widest sidewalks in the world, in my opinion. But if you have a family of 5 that's doing the Panzer division, that's nobody in New York walks 5 wide. If you're in a group, everybody always goes into couples, one back and forth, like a formation, because they know you need to have room for everybody else. But there's nothing worse than a family of 5 tourists strolling at the speed of a slug, while everybody's trying to go around them. So I definitely that's what drives me crazy. What are we looking for 3 dots, my friend? What am I seeing? What am I missing on this on the indicator? We have the scalper indicator. Why not use it? Sorry, what are you asking me, Ari Trader or Air Trader? This is my own proprietary scalper indicator, same version as the Trading View for MT5, but this is only available for anybody who wants to open an account with ACAP. I'll put an ACAP link over here. You open an account, you'll get this indicator, you get all my tools. You'll actually get 6 months of trading with us and everything else if you become part of the BK crew. But I've only developed this strictly for my friends at ACAP. So if you want the execution, you want the tools, you want all this stuff on MetaTrader 5, you already have an account, take your account, bring it to ACAP. Oh, I gotta buy, reset, buy. I'm talking and I'm not paying any attention. 3 No, did I rush myself? 1, 2, 3. I rushed myself a little bit. Shit, I rushed myself because I'm not paying attention to the setup. This should really complete. I'm way ahead. There's a minute 34 left. This candle has to complete, but I'm ahead of the candle. And so long as the candle's going my way, that's fine. I will let it play out. Let's see if gold wants to be really kind here and go higher. Let's see. This is gold. Right now we're trading gold. We're trading NASDAQ and we trade US 30. In Asia, we trade these 3 specific instruments. Did gold get done? Look at that. Gold get done. Gold got done. Look at this, guys. Today, nothing but green. Let me hang on a second. Let me just custom period to where's my thing? Where's my thing? Oh shit. I did the same thing. I can't believe I did this. Oh, guys. I do this all the time with MetaTrader. I'm sorry. Fuck. I'm gonna have to close the MetaTrader screen. Just bear with me here. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry, guys. Every fucking time, because every time I do history, it pops up with a window underneath it. Now I can't control the whole. I can't do anything. In the meantime, by the way, gold gone through the roof, which is good because we made money on that trade. Shit. Just stay with me, guys. Stay with me. I'm going to go dark a little bit. And task. Oh, fuck. Okay. All right, bear with me, guys. Bear with me. And I'm going to go back to window, this, share. Okay, we should have the screen back. Okay. Yeah, we should have the screen back. What happened with MetaTrader? I told you I'm going to have to go dark. You know what happened with MetaTrader is that I had to go dark over here for a second because whenever I go try to show you history, MetaTrader pops out, you know, the configuration window behind the thing, and since I'm trying to do a million things and I'm streaming at the same time, it fucks up my computer. Okay. Now Nikkei is horrible. Fucking horrible. Who said Nikkei? Where's the who was it that said? Yes. If you're American, this is really not a stream for you guys. I'm just telling you this right now. You're welcome to hang out here, but this is a stream for everybody who's the Americans get the North American stream. What the hell is the Nikkei? That was you, Bernardo? No, Nikkei is horrible. Let me show you the Nikkei spreads. Where's the Nikkei spreads? NK. Here's Japan 25. Look at this fucking spread. It's 12 points wide. There's no way you could trade that on a scalping basis. So no, the answer is no. There's really only 3 things we trade that that make sense for this kind of trading, because you need really, you know, lots of volatility, tight spreads, and really good execution. So the only 3 things that work is gold, NASDAQ, US 30. We even tried Bitcoin, and it's just a waste of time for this kind of approach. You can trade them for longer term, you can trade more positionally, but it's a waste of time for us on this type of a structure. All right, choppy in equity land. We are effectively flat. When we get this kind of a short over long with no directional move, you really kind of have to assume it's flat. This is sort of the most toxic conditions for us. So we need to be very careful when we pick our trades right now. There's nothing much. NASDAQ is much better. NASDAQ actually looks like a potential setup here. 56 seconds left. Let's get a little bit bigger. NASDAQ is still positive bid, positive green arrow. So we can we can give ourselves a chance here if we want to with NASDAQ. Okay, again, pretty small sizes. 38 seconds left on NASDAQ. So if this green dot stays in place, we'll take a trade. The stop will be right underneath here. Very, very small stop. Really not a lot. It's actually like a 10 point stop. So we'll see if it, we'll see if it holds and if it works. So yeah, I mean, Nikkei, you can trade. Nope, did not hold, by the way. This is a great example of why this indicator is so good. Great example of why, I'm so accurate in my scalping, because it generally doesn't put me into bad trades. You see how waiting patiently for this trade. By the way, now it's legitimately a counter trend move. One red dot, second red dot, third red dot. This holds as a red dot. We're going to short this move. We're going to short this because now it's given us a pretty clear reversal signal, right? So we got $1.26 on the clock. When it gets down to like 10 seconds left, if this still is a red dot, we're going to have a chance to short this. But my point being is, you see how the indicator is so good at not putting you into false positives. It's going to hit some false positives for sure, but a minimum amount. And as long as the majority of the positives, as long as the majority of the trades are positive positives, I can follow this indicator with great accuracy. So it's really, really good. No, Rick, it's just 3 dots. The third dot has got to complete. It's just right now, this is the third dot, but it's got 48 seconds left on the candle. So it needs to go down to 0. If it stays third dot, then I'm short this thing. Okay, then I'm short. I'm going to hit the sell button. Sandy says he likes the gold and the NAS on this. Yeah, the indicator is awesome. 13, 14 seconds. Looks like the patience versus impatient is like a big moves to the downside. Okay, we're going to sell this. Stop is going to be like around here. So I want to put the stop at around 20. See how cool this is? I can just type it in and it's going to move my stop down. I can calibrate it even like to maybe 18. Bring it down. Put this thing to about maybe 7 target. Let's see if we can get the move to the downside. I'm going to bet it, basically betting on the fact that there's continuation here for a reversal continuation, that the trend is going down. Oh, almost there. And watch this. I can hit the close button and I'm just blown out of it, right? And you get another P&L move for us, which is really cool. Really, really cool. All right, let me see if I can do history another way without screwing up the MT4. If I go to history and I go to wait, what are we at? It's 5.7? No, it's the other way. Yeah, it's 5.8. Right. Okay, so it basically started right over here, I think. I mean, no, I started over here off screen. I took a small hit loss, but then with you guys, it's just all been winners because I've just been focusing strictly on just taking setups, just all one. So 1 winner, 2 winner, 3 winner, 4 winner, 5 winner, 6 winner. All small steps. I'm doing small sizes because I want everybody to understand how to trade this properly in your own account. So that you don't get crazy. I can easily trade 10 times this thing with this account, but that's not the point. The structure of this, the whole idea of how I trade is to show you the good behaviors, good techniques, and the flexibility. Like, if I needed to get larger, if I started large and I lose, I'm way behind. if I start small and I lose, I can get larger without really, impacting the P&L in any way, shape, or form, and give myself a very quick chance to recover my losses. I know I can drag the line. Dragging the line, unfortunately, doesn't work very well with me because my what do you call it? Arrow. My arrow doesn't work very well in this chart. It's just like I have, MetaTrader is not my friend. That's why I created all these really great tools for MetaTrader, because they give me full control over the platform without any problems. Was this a? We're getting a green signal here, guys. So this is remember, we're positive bid. We're basically sort of focusing on NASDAQ right now. This is positive bid, green signal. Minute left. If this green dot stays with us, we're going to go long. We're going to just, we're going to give it a shot to the long side. 52 seconds left. Let's see where gold is at. Oh, gold really went positive. Wow, gold really. See, we took these trades over here. Gold really went positive. Now we're going to just have to wait for it to retrace a little bit and maybe reestablish a positive trend. US 30 is very choppy. US 30 sort of sending a positive signal too. We can trade them both. It's not like, it's, not horrible. I'll take the US 30 first and then maybe NASDAQ second. We got 17 seconds left. So about 5 seconds left. I'll take long in US 30 and then a long in NASDAQ. And we'll see where we can go on the scalp side. We don't trade FX. FX is not fast enough for us to trade. We know in FX it'll take you 10 years to make money with the speed that it goes. Like dollar yen will go 5 points in an hour. NASDAQ will go 5 points in a minute. So we're trading instruments that can go 5-10 points in a couple of minutes. So we can convert that into P&L. So Kathy trades the 1 hour chart. This is a 2-minute chart. So we focus on 3 things. These are the best things to trade for scalping. You can trade many other different instruments on different time frames for all the other stuff. But the other key thing to understand when you want to trade well is you want to just focus on one thing and do that well. Otherwise you're going to be all over the place. And, you become a jack of all trades, master of none. Sandy says he's so over FX. Yeah, I like indices. I agree. I mean, gold and indices is the trade. I haven't traded FX in ages. And every time I try to trade FX, I want to shoot myself. I want to blow my brains out at how slow it is. Like, 10 points in euro for an hour is actually a massive trip, Okay, we're long these guys. I actually want to. Where am I? This is US 30. This is going to be like a 10-point target. Just I want a short little scalp. US 30 is the least attractive of all these trades because it's essentially. You could even make the argument that that it's negative trend, and I'm kind of too early in this trade. But I'm a sort of it's above the 200 period moving average, even though the shorter moving average hasn't curled up. I'm betting on the fact that it's going to curl up and take us to the upside. The NASDAQ is a much cleaner argument for this trade. It's positive bid meaning that that it's positive trend. This is long term. This is short term. We have a green dot over here. I'm going to get bigger again, just to show you. And and I'm trading that dot, with a swing low stop over here. If I was really, honest with myself, I should have the stop underneath here. But honestly, if the trade comes all the way down here, we're pretty clearly wrong in this trade. It just becomes a range trade. You're not getting any continuity here. We're basically trying to trade continuity. That's what we do. Scalping is the art of trading continuity. It's the art of predicting the fact that in the short term it's gonna go the way it's been going. The object in motion remains in motion. It's the most fundamental element of Newtonian physics, which is what we try and trade. I like doing it because it's a very high probability. It's quick resolution. It gives you good feedback. It allows you many trades per hour, so you can practice your skills. You can control your risk with very small stops and targets. Oh shit, guys! I meant to tell you today. I really love to stay with you guys for longer, but I gotta go because I have meetings. We're gonna watch this. Watch this. I'm gonna close all button, and this is the other cool thing about my tool. I can blow out of all my positions at a positive trade, which is really nice, right? So actually, if we go back here, literally every trade today with you guys has been totally positive. Literally every trade that we traded. Where the hell am I? Because this is the loser was off screen. I mean, I should count this, but it was off screen. But every trade I made with you guys live, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mainly because I stayed to target. I mean, I stayed to set up. The market cooperated with us. We had relatively good flow. I wasn't greedy. You see me, I'm just taking small clips, and I positioned myself properly. So all of this is totally possible. And I'm happy to teach it to you. I put the link for ACAP over there. If you guys want to come join me, come join me. Bernardo, it's not that simple. That's not that simple. I showed you like 1/10 of my tricks because we don't have time to to do this. But one of these days you're going to catch me in a big losing streak, and you're going to see how I get out of it. So it's not that simple of just like it's just R&Rs. That's like what they teach you in baby school, in what I call fake guru school. In every guy. Here's how you know people are full of shit. If they don't trade live like I do with real prices and real accounts. If they're showing you a trading view chart that they marked up and say, I went long here and I went short here and I did this yesterday and I did this 5,000 years ago, I too can trade history really well. I am super amazing at trading the past. Ask any of these assholes who you watch on YouTube if they'll trade the future. I trade the future every day. That's the only way you know somebody's a real trader. They're like a handful of guys I know on YouTube who I consider to be real traders. That's the guys who trade the future are real traders, right? Trades by Matt, excellent trader. Nick, Austin, all those guys trade the future. Anybody who's fucking showing you trading view markups is an asshole, a liar, and a cheat. 100%. So the point being is like all those guys, I have a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. Look how well I did. Bull fucking shit. You've never traded in your life if you think that a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio is the key to success in trading. Okay. Trading is all about adaptability, risk control, patience in the right sense of the word, like we talked about it. And most importantly, creating a strategy that works with your personality. Really, the single most important thing. So hopefully you guys like that. We had a actually great week this week. It's been a short week, but we really did well. I'm really refining. I love the indicator now. It's fully coded. Really happy. By the way, if you guys have MT4, I have the MT4 version as well. So it's all really good. Anyways, I'll be back next Tuesday, next Wednesday to trade with you guys. At that point, I'll have everything organized with ACAP, and I'll show you the full deal that you can get. But if you really, seriously, if you want the tools, if you want any of this stuff, here's the link. Go open an account with ACAP, come back to me, and I'll be happy to set you up. Okay? Sandy says, not be greedy and have a TP. Yes, that's something we've learned the hard way, and that is the right way. But thank you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. Hope you guys really enjoyed this. We'll do tons more of these things next week. Those of you guys who want to join me in New York, live trading Thursday, last day of the week for live trading, and then we're gonna do private trading. That's it. What about a U.S. broker? No, sorry, not for the MT5. You want to do U.S. trading with me? You trade futures in the morning. Okay, that's the story. You want MT5? You got to be a non. It's not my rules. It's the rules of the NFA, CFTC, and all the U.S. regulators. Speak to President Trump. I'm sure he'll probably be sympathetic. Although maybe not, because the CME pretty much owns the Republican Party. And the reason why U.S. traders can't trade CFDs is because Chicago Mercantile Exchange wants everybody to be trading futures. So that's the story. But you can follow the ideas. You can get all that stuff. All right, guys. I thank you again. Come back again. Bring all your friends. Bring all your friends next time. We'll do this again. Thank you, guys. Everybody enjoy. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.